When it comes time to strap down a car, oftentimes I've seen that cross-strapping is the ideal method. One of the things that I don't like about cross-strapping, especially when we're going to a tire versus say a solid axle, is you're putting opposing force on your steering and your suspension geometry. In the back, it's a little bit more robust and less of a concern, but even with my race car, the M5, I don't want to continually be applying tremendous amounts of cross force on those tires. So what I'd really like to do is set up a tie-down system a lot more like what all the moving trucks use, or the vehicle moving trucks, where it straps over the tires. So what we've got here is a couple pieces of E-track, some rollers, and some specific over the tie downs that we can get up here, and we can strap down all 4 individual tires. Judah and I have spent a little bit of time figuring out what my track width is, what the track width of other cars I might buy, the other cars that we have, and the length or wheelbase of those cars to try to set up about where this E-track is going to line up. Really, your measurements are going to be totally different, but I think this will be fairly universal for a whole bunch of cars that we can buy. As far as trying to keep the trailer from bending into 2 trailers, what I'm talking about is every time you go to load a vehicle up on the back of a trailer like this, the front of the trailer wants to go up in the air, thus taking the vehicle or the tow vehicle with it. As soon as that tow vehicle stops the movement, what you have is you have 2 opposing forces trying to bend the deck of the trailer, much like this PVC pipe. You're trying to load from the back, the front is stable, and it's pushing like this. Ultimately, what can occur is over time, it'll push and it'll push and it'll push, and it'll find a weak spot just like that, and your trailer is gonna crack somewhere on the frame. Now, does this happen often? Probably not. Does it happen? Yes. Really, I want to protect that from happening with my trailer and perhaps yours in the future, which is why you see on a lot of nicer built or more expensive trailers, there's usually a jacking system in the back. What we've been using is the tried and true stack of blocks. We throw these guys underneath the rear deck compresses down and it stops. Well, that's kind of a pain in the butt. So I went ahead and I spent a couple dollars on a set of rotating jacks with nice jack arms. We're gonna weld these to the side so that we can rotate them up and out of the way, or drop them down and use the crank to get it exactly where we want it. We spent, again, a little bit of time trying to figure out where to put these as well, and we can't put them behind the lights because, well, you have to have lights. So this is gonna be the most ideal location, just ahead of the lights. You're still gonna get a lot of reinforcement at the back of the trailer, and cross our fingers, if there's any trailer techs out there, you let us know if we're gonna wind up causing any damage to it, but I don't really think so. We've only got about 2.5 feet to the edge of the trailer. To mount our ramps, we had previously upgraded to a set of 7-foot long aluminum ramps, and they don't lock into the little pins here that the previous steel ramps did. So what we plan to do is I've got an old suspension U-bolt from rebuilding a different trailer and a lower axle bracket. I'm gonna cut this guy in half, weld it to the frame here. We'll drop the U-bolt through, mark our ramps, drill some holes, and then put pins in the bottom. And the ramps, they'll stay with the trailer. And last but not least, to cover the rust encapsulation underneath, we're gonna spray on some 2-in-1 rust performance seal, and then touch up everything with some black high performance enamel. We are gonna be welding our E-track to the deck, which means we have to grind off the powder coat on the E-track and the paint on the deck, and then repaint everything to protect from rusting in the future. To make this easier to weld on, it's got this handy dandy snap ring here. We'll pop this guy off so that we can get to the raw steel plate, and then we can weld that directly onto the trailer. Now this guy, a little oily, we'll clean it up, clean up the sides, and get to welding. Yeah, that works.
Really filling that hole.
Yeah. To get our E-track mounted down, what we decided to do was place a 4-inch weld about every foot. On the ends, I did 6-inch welds and then a foot thereafter to get everything evenly spaced out. And then we added 4 sheet metal screws tapped down into the deck before we started welding to get everything to stay in place versus trying to rely on tacks. Then what I did was hit it with some spray paint and we're ready to go. So here's what we're thinking. We've got the corners of the trailer strapped to the lift. We've got 2 straps on each corner, so based on the braking strength of all these different straps, we've got something like 40,000 pounds of brake strength or something like that, and like 15 or 20,000 pounds of lifting strength. So I'm fairly confident it can lift this 2,000 pound trailer up off of the ground. In fact, we've done this before without, filming it because sketchy, but let's take it up in the air. That's good. After doing a bit of testing with this paint, we decided that if we were to aerosolize this paint, we'd probably die. So what we wound up doing was using some small rollers to get in between all of the frame rails and the whole bottom side of the deck, come back a little bit later for a second coat with a brush and get every tiny little spot that we could. This took a little while and we felt pretty safe under there. We did have 4 jack stands. In the back I've got some 12 tons and in the middle those are 8-ton like house supports. So not terribly worried. If it came down, we wouldn't be happy, but we wouldn't be dead. Once that was all done, you can see that the bottom side here, it turned out really, really nice. We got every single inch of this thing coated that we could get to. And then we're going to be peeling the stickers off of the side of the trailer so that we can go ahead and add some new stickers and get this thing super duper fresh. Up top, we're just touching up all of the edges where the end of these sheet panels are. There's a bit of rust forming, so I wanted to make sure to get everything encapsulated in all the different joints. We did come back and hit it with some high gloss after it was all done. And of course, with all the work we've just done to the trailer, we couldn't leave those nasty stickers on there. So I put a new set of reflective stickers all the way around. Boy, does this thing look good now. I'm really happy we took the time to get all of this stuff done and ready for the racing season. So it wasn't all that difficult to get the car up here. We had to figure out side to side where it goes again, but we've got our straps. These are the Rhino USA. These are 2-inch by 16-foot straps. We're using the DC Cargo E-Track, DC Cargo idlers, and it is on there tight. You can shake this thing every different direction that you want and it's not going anywhere. Hold on. Yep, not going anywhere. If you don't dad tap it, it's gonna fall off. All of this stuff came together really well. The paint looks nice. We've got new stickers on there. Our hook back here. We've got our ramps locked in. They're not going anywhere. These guys, you gotta crank it all the way in.
It won't go down.
Oh, that's right. It won't fall off because it can't go down if the ramps are in. I'm like, why is it stuck? That's weird. Good recovery, yeah. These Worked out fantastic. We set them up about 2 inches off of the ground. The trailer, bloop, bloop, plopped down, locked into place, no excessive bending or anything. So this guy is ready to go. I didn't put the M5 on because the battery's dead. So it's time to do an anti-gravity lightweight battery in that car. But the 540, same track width and everything, goes right up, no problem. If you like this one, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know how you would have done things different, or maybe if you would have done it the same way, or how you have your trailer set up. Next step, we need to get a winch on the front, somewhere right here. Should I build it ahead on the V or put it up on the deck? I know if I put it on the deck, it's gonna limit how much space I have here, but I think I'm okay with that. So how would you do it? Front or on the deck? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.